Welcome to the Man Listen podcast. Before we dive into these conversations and stories on this podcast, we want to remind our listeners that the views and opinions expressed by individuals on the show are personal and may not represent the broader population or even the people featured on the show. This podcast is meant to be casual and enjoyable experiences, a space to relax, share stories, and even have a good time. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Keeping in mind that what's said here is all in good fun, not to be taken too serious. Again, thanks for tuning in to Man Listen.
We back.
Yes, sir.
With another one.
The one.
The one. That's the one I'm talking about. Actually, this is the one we've been waiting on.
Yes, sir.
Like always, I'm your host, Branch.
Chauncey Ray.
And this is Man Listen, the podcast. Oh, man. Wow. So we here. Yo, we are here, man. And we have none other. He said he wasn't scared. He said he wasn't running. None other than
Peter Parker.
Yours truly, the Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Of Nottoway
I do love
County. Billy Coleburn. Let's give him his praise.
I appreciate it, man.
Praise.
I do love Stephen A. Love Stephen A.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
So, as we always do, Chuck, we don't waste no time.
Get to it, man. Let's go.
We jump straight into the fight. Who shot Gator?
They finally charged somebody.
They did what?
They finally charged somebody, I think.
So this whole thing started, Chuck, because Billy was on the scene quicker than the doggone police department when a whole lot of stuff happened.
Billy was the first one there.
But you know why that was, It was 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. I was getting ready to go out the door to work, and I'm like, the street, I think it was Gravity Avenue. I'm like, that's broad daylight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a bright November. Actually, it was November 20th. It may have been 1 year ago we're getting close to the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I mean, police said the scene was secure. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And the street was full of bullets. And, I tell everybody, people sometimes will say, why do where do you decide to go live? Or, why do you pick and choose? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's really three factors. First of all, I've got to be in town or I'm not always in town.
I do see you do a lot of moving on Facebook. I don't know if it be
on weekends. My wife and I travel.
Okay, I'm about to say these recycled pictures of what Billy be West Virginia. I see you. No,
we don't travel far. We do travel, but I've got to be in town.
Right.
I've got to also know that for me, I'm not going to interfere with law enforcement or like harm my safety. The one time I did go. I remember driving to when they had the slip-in shootout about a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. I remember driving to the scene because it was dark. It was like 6:30 in a February night. And I was like, let's make sure, be careful
you
here.
Remember this shit like football stats.
It was February 23rd. I got a photograph in memory.
Shit.
And I finally heard one of the officers say, scene is secure. But, when 24 shots are fired and no one knows who did anything, I've done some things looking back on it, especially before I had kids, that was risky and stupid. But Facebook, it's all about basically, I've got to be in town. I've got to be able to do it. I've got to do it safely and not impede law enforcement. And one thing I don't want to do ever, and I've never done this, let's say I go to a wreck, and that's rare, but if it's a really bad accident, and if I see people that are injured and I know they're going to make it, I'll say, hey, got a big traffic backup on 460. You may want to reconsider, But if someone is deceased, I would never want anyone to get information that, hey, my loved one may be the one deceased from one of my go lives. Right. So, I'm really careful about what I do. There's a method to my madness, but it often might come across as inconsistent because I'm kind of, we have 5 employees. I'm the news guy.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
You face of the franchise.
So
let people tell you just pull up and go live every time and just
yeah. So
bodies laid in the road, you just out there.
Dispel for us or confirm to us because how do you know or how do you differentiate between when you think you should go and when you shouldn't go?
That's a great question, man.
Because there are, and again, we're going to address the elephant in the room.
Talk.
Right? At least, especially from our audience, there are a lot of people that think that you go to certain places and don't go to certain places.
Right.
But you just gave us your 3 factors.
Correct.
But how would you know, dang, it's something happening at Walmart right now, I need to go to that versus nah, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna just let that. Like, what's the magnitude of?
Well, first of all, the only way I find out normally is two ways. Police radio normally scanner, because if it's serious enough to call police or fire rescue, you know you got a potential situation. Now, I'll tell you what happened the night of the shootout. I'm in my backyard in my fire pit, away from my scanner, and my phone starts blowing up. And they're like, and I'm like, these folks are legit. These are, you get some folks that call you about everything. I'm like, this must be serious. And but as far as where I go, it's no, I don't mind saying where the criticism came from. There was an episode earlier this year in a neighborhood down below Cole Harbor Apartments. I was out of town. They had a police standoff. And I was 45 minutes from Blackstone. Right. As it turns out, of course, I didn't know at the time. I said, look, people were messing with me. I said, hey, are the hostages or anything like that? No, someone's just, hold themselves up in a house. And turned out to be a mental health emergency. And I'm kind of like, that's not something I would go live with. And now if there were people being endangered and the police had a perimeter set up, yeah, I'd probably go there. I'd probably go live there. But again, I don't want to be the person where someone finds out, hey, I've got a relative there. I don't want them to find out from me that they may have a situation involving a loved one. And now there are going to be times that may happen.
How does it not turn into, because I remember that situation, and it was, I believe, didn't somebody comment on our page about that? They almost tried to turn it into like a white and black issue.
Yeah. Correct.
And I guess.
Well, here's the funny thing about that. Now, I'm not making this up. That happened on like a Friday, I think it was a Friday night. And the insinuation was Billy's not going down there because it's a white neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, the fact of the matter is that is an absolute mixed neighborhood. And then guess what? Less than a week later, they had somebody on the run. Police were down there. Guess where I went? I went down to the same place because they had a manhunt.
Oh yeah.
And so
I know what you're talking about.
I didn't know who they were looking for, what the person looked like, but I knew there was police activity.
Right.
So everything's different. Like I said, I'll tell you a funny story. I mean, the elephant in the room. The first ever meth raid that happened in Blackstone was
A meth raid?
We had a meth raid. Meth raid on the West End.
Meth out here?
I'm not going to name the street. It was on the West End. I didn't have any advance warning about it. People started messing with Billy. There are feds. They got the armored vehicles down on this street. It's not a very diverse street, but just turns out that the place where the meth was being done was a new family who moved into town. And they happen to be white. Yeah. And I'll never forget.
Know what you're talking about.
And I was walking, and this is funny. I was leaving the scene. I'd gone live. I mean, they were spraying down the suspect with a fire hose because meth is dangerous and everything. And I was walking back to the car. They had the road blocked off. And somebody said, man, white folks move in here and look what happens. But the neighborhood goes in.
Neighborhood go to shit.
So I was just like,
shit.
And again, I went on that call. I don't have any preconceived notion like, the call was on such and such a street, therefore it's going to be that type person. It's all about the event.
People would say you went down there because you thought that.
No, I went down there because they said state police armored vehicle down there. Fed.
No. I believe you. I'm just saying, and they'll say, you went down there because you thought
thinking, I'm going down to the West. I'm going to see something.
And I welcome that. And listen, and I'll be first to tell you.
Billy Bob on that jump.
The news media, especially southern rural newspapers, include my own, my late grandfather, my late father, were on the wrong side of history on a lot of issues. My father, may he rest in peace, later in life realized that, wrote about it, apologized for some of his views, pro-segregation back in the 60s. But so I understand those stereotypes because, our body of work, a lot of it is on the, I look back through some of those old newspapers, man. Back in the 50s and 60s, it's rough to look at.
Yeah.
And I show my daughters, I mean, they cried when they read about some of the stuff. And heard how people were so, separate but equal, that sort of thing.
That's crazy.
It was, my daughter Caroline, remember she cried when she realized, when it finally sank in that, they were really two Blackstones. And, I grew up here, and I'll be the first to say I was very privileged. I'm very blessed. And it really, I'm going to be honest with you, until I went to college, I was fortunate enough to go to college and interact with different people. I then realized, I've grown up in two Blackstones. And when I became mayor, and ran for mayor and knocked on every door in Blackstone twice, man, it's just like, how can you be so blind to what's in front of you?
They call me the mayor too. that's one of my nicknames. You asked me what I like to be called.
I like it, the mayor.
The mayor work.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, some people do call me the mayor though.
So I think this is interesting. This is kind of a powerful conversation we're having because I feel like media in general, especially like from the African American standpoint and community, and you know my grandmother, right?
Love her to death.
So you know all of the work that she put in with. We've talked about it a little bit, like Luth H. Foster, keeping the history alive of the county and the school and the education, all these people. I feel like the media hadn't necessarily portrayed us, positively in a lot of these situations. From like front page of the newspaper, you got some crazy situation happening on there, and I know it's media, it's news, right? So a part of it is a part of it entertainment, or is a part of it like entertainment, like shock value, not like tabloid shock value, because you still got to sell papers and get out information. Yeah. But how is it, like, how do you balance, like, you get what I'm trying to say?
No,
like the entertainment side versus
I can honestly tell you right now, I don't really have an idea what's going to be on the front page in 2 or 3 days. I've got a bunch of notes to go through and things like that. But obviously, it's it's different in every paper because if all three of us ran a paper in Blackstone, it'd probably be all three be different. Your lead story may be this, mine may be something else. Right. And if it's a big crime, obviously, luckily my philosophy has always been I'm grateful we live in a community where if there is a violent crime, I hope there's never any more ever, that is so rare that it is front page material. Whereas in some cities you get murdered, it's a page B8. It's on the back, or a little story like that. Right. But it's basically issues that you feel are of community significance. And yes, there is from time to time there's an old expression, if it bleeds, it leads. We're not like that. But if it's a 130 mile an hour police chase, it's probably gonna be on the front page. It's no really, every week is different. Every week is a blank slate. And if any reporter ever says I've seen it all, I know this, they need to retire, because I would tell you right now, I've been doing this 35 years. I'm 56 years old, and about every month I'm like, I never thought that would happen. I never thought I'd see that.
You ever wanted to not put something in the paper because you knew the people?
Dude, when I came back from college, 1991, there was a significant drug raid. Okay?
1991.
Yeah, it was a significant. And I'm on good terms with everybody involved now. Yeah. Right. But there was people I thought very highly of. I knew that at the time after I went to college that maybe one or two of them may have gotten on the wrong path, but I'm not the babysitter. I covered it, man. It was a drug raid. It was names and all. I covered the preliminary hearing. It was painful. And to their credit, in fact, I saw one of the people. It's been about within 5 years. We kind of hugged at the grocery store. I've had to write things about people that are very close to me, and I don't want to go in details because people who watch this may bring back old wounds. Yeah. But I've written some things that for weeks caused me pain, because even though people understood it was my job, it's easy to throw darts at the messenger. Yeah. And there are things I've done. There are stories I've done about some of those same people where I'm like, did we play it up bigger than we should have because we wanted to dispel the notion that I play favorites. That maybe they get treated harsher because they were a friend of mine.
Because everybody waiting like, nah, let's
Billy ain't going to watch it. Billy's not going to put that in there.
Let's see what you got to say about his boy.
I mean, it's hard with that human element in a small town. And see, in a big city, you can cover news and never see anybody.
Well, see, that's what I was going to ask you, too, about seeing people, because I'm like, you write something about somebody, and then you got to turn around and see that same person and
turn around and see him.
Well, here's my thing. I beg everybody. I know it's a cliche and people get tired of hearing about it. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. I'm telling you right now.
Do you really believe that, though? Let's stop right there.
Well, no, of course, you and I both know if they put handcuffs on me tomorrow, Billy Coleburn's forever the guy that got arrested. But I'm just telling you, police, God bless them, authorities, no one's perfect. And that right to a fair trial is important. It's vital, it's crucial. And I tell everybody, if you get arrested, I tell the family members, if you want to tell your side of the story, please do. But obviously, lawyers tell their clients, keep your mouth shut. And the advantage is always on the Commonwealth. It's always on the law enforcement, especially if they, these drug raids, they do direct indictments. You don't have a preliminary hearing. Preliminary hearing, you get a chance to see some of the evidence against you. Yeah. So, I don't take any of that stuff lightly. But again, it's news. I've had some people say, Billy, why don't you just wait until they're convicted and then report it? I'm like, no, if someone down the street has got a meth raid, and they might want to know that, hey, they seized 5 doors down, because they're going to hear about it. Well, what happened? They look at the newspaper for the facts. We quote the authorities, our own observations, and try to be fair and balanced.
What about confrontations? Anybody ever like? ran up on you? But you know what I mean? Like,
I've never been. I'm trying to think. I've had a few times where I was
like, you go to Richmond and shop and stuff.
I won't say I've been scared because I always like, again, I try to make sure that I'm not that pain in the butt guy that's out in front of the police and, screaming, I've got rights, police officer. I try to respect the police and get from a distance. But I've been at places, accidents where loved ones are rushing on the scene and they're obviously excited, excited in a bad way. And their passion and concern for the loved one, they're angry, they're scared. So sometimes they lash out at me. And I'll be honest with you, one of the things I do differently, I've changed because of media has changed, because of social media, and also just standards have changed. I've learned through social media that, wrecks are news. Obviously, tragic wrecks are news. But people really don't want to see photos. Rarely do they really want to see the photos. No. But I will tell you the things that haunt me the most. Like right now, I've seen dead bodies. I've had to take pictures for state police back when state police didn't have digital cameras. The memories that are etched in my mind that I still will never get out is the cries of parents coming to the scene. There's one in particular. I can see the parents realizing that their loved one is dead, and they're in a ditch on the ground in November crying, and you just can't get those things out of your head. But I can block out the bodies because I come back from wreck sometimes. And people go, "Who was it?" I said, "I don't know." What do you mean you don't know? I said, "Man, I'm just observing." I let the police do the job. There'll be time enough for that. I'm not going to go say, so and so just died in a crash. Or some people say, how bad was it? I said, I didn't look. Yeah, I didn't look. Even when I took pictures, I had to take a picture one time of a person on the train tracks. This is back in '92. And the trooper said, I need these pictures. It was actually a town police officer. And I looked, but I didn't see. I just did the job, and here's the film. And but those are things that,
So do you welcome people who, let's say you wrote something in the paper or you went live or something like that? Let's say something happened. I don't say happened to me, but like I got involved in a situation. You went live on a situation. I saw you the next day. Would you welcome people to say, yo, Billy, can I holler at you about that situation? I feel like you kind of approached that a little wrong, or I didn't like the way your take on that or something like that, because or do you shy away from that?
No. In fact, I'll tell anybody out there who listens to this podcast that if you let's say you've been charged, you've been arrested, you've been convicted, or there are charges pending against you, and we've reported it, and you're like, hey man, I know you reporting what the police said, but they're wrong, and you want to tell your side, we'll go live. We'll go live. We'll record. We'll do a recorded interview. Or if you don't want to go in front of the camera,
cut the comments off.
We'll write your story.
No comments section.
Comments crazy. Do you read your comments?
I do.
You be cutting them off sometimes. You already know.
Well, here's the thing. This is another thing. We ask people on the Currier Record Facebook page to we prefer no profanity. However, I'm not going to censor. Occasionally we'll hide something if it's rare. Facebook sometimes will automatically hide something. That's what makes me mad. Somebody says, Billy's hiding the comments. I'm like, I didn't touch a comment. But Facebook has increasingly profanity. I don't know what the method of the madness is, but my philosophy
Chuck, what is it? Because Chuck may know.
I go to Facebook.
Because hold on, because
do you notice that?
Chuck definitely
certain
may know.
Words like hit, smack, shit like that.
Yeah, but we have advertisers. One advertiser that sell guns, and they they got it was just a gun store.
For the record, I don't know how Chuck didn't get in Facebook jail on November the 4th. I'm just flat out. I had several people call me and tell me, yo, I won't watch your show again because Chucky's making me mad. I almost texted Chuck like,
you told him fuck
man.
him?
I said, hey, man, ease up, man. Ease up.
Did you tell him fuck him?
No, come on. See, I ain't.
You supposed to tell him fuck him.
Was it November 4th? They had to be election related. It was election.
What,
Chuck,
Billy?
Chuck had people going crazy on Facebook.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Chuck had people going crazy on Facebook. So look, you mentioned being the mayor. Like, what led you to wanting to be the mayor of Blackstone, right?
I'll tell you a funny story. Basically, I came back, went to town council meetings as a reporter, and just kind of, if someone had told me in college, I would have said never in my wildest dreams. I would see people go to the podium and speak or complain about something rationally, and I'd be like, they raise a good point. And I would just kind of see things they weren't really having a voice. And when I found out that the mayor was not going to run for re-election again, and then, like I said, the mayor in Blackstone, basically, it's more or less, I don't want to limit it, but it's a figurehead position. It's ceremonial. A mayor can't do a lot by himself or herself, but you have to build consensus. And I just decided to throw my name in the ring, and never really dreamed I'd win. A longtime county supervisor ran, and I won. And I'll tell you some history that'll blow your mind out there, folks. And this is a Blackstone fact. In 1951, there was a mayor. He was a freshman mayor. He got challenged and he won. Two-way mayor's race. The next contested mayor's race was 2006 when I ran 55 years later. In 2018, there was another one.
So it was always just somebody just running by themselves? Since
1951, there have been 3 contested mayor's races.
That's crazy.
Which I find to be crazy. I was involved in 2 of them. So either I must bring out the dander of some people that they want,
they're going to run against you. So like, somebody just said, I'm going to be mayor, and they just was like, cool. Like, go ahead. Go for it.
Well, back in the old days, man, look, it was basically probably, 7 or 8 or 9 power brokers.
How long can you be the mayor just forever?
I guess you just sure.
Okay.
But during COVID, I don't mind telling you, during COVID, I don't know what happened. When I won in 2018, I was like, I love this job. I love my town. And I could, I want to do it for as long as I can do it and feel I'm effective. And during COVID, it was like the fall of 2020. I would run and I'd cool down. And Thanksgiving of 2020, and the election was still a year and a half away. I told my family, I said, hey, look, I've come to this conclusion. I'm getting burned out. I'm afraid I'm going to get tired and not be effective. And it's just it was a God moment for me. It was a strong voice. My family, my daughters were like, we don't get to ride in the Christmas parade anymore. I was like, hey, I remember in closed session, I informed the town council. I got kind of emotional about it, to be honest with you. Excuse me now, I still get emotional about it. And then I announced in December of 2020, and then no one qualified to run, basically. And I'm like, folks, I'm not coming back.
They tried to make you stay.
I said, look, I mean it. When I make my mind up, I make my mind up. And so, and then the election got postponed 6 months. So Blackstone had 2 years to come up with somebody, and Ben Green ran unopposed, and he's the mayor now.
They just literally be like,
you got it.
So like So what are the qualifications for being the mayor?
To be running,
apparently.
I mean, just being a post. No, you gotta have a post.
To be on town council or mayor or board of supervisors, all you have to be is a registered voter and live in the town limits. That's all you got to be.
My fellow American.
Registered to make a good mayor.
Are you telling me? Hey, man.
There are a lot of folks,
I don't fool with Nottoway, though, for real.
Hey, man.
Well,
I feel like I'd be a little too aggressive.
One of the things social media is, and this didn't affect me at all because I don't mind social media. I don't mind criticism because through criticism you learn about yourself. And a lot of times, critics aren't always wrong. Sometimes the critics are right. But with social media, there is a level of, there can be nastiness just like that. Right. You can come home from a meeting. I never forget I came home from a meeting. I got blindsided in a meeting, and I told somebody how mad I was. And I remember I told somebody, I said, man, they can go to hell. I did. I said,
as the mayor?
To a friend, a Facebook friend, privately. Privately.
You said it. Oh, in the DM. So you DM'd him?
Yes.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, about a day or two later, that person I was talking about said, well, the mayor of Blackstone just told me I can go to, and I had a, listen.
But you know what?
We all have weak moments.
Y'all was arguing.
We're not accustomed to getting DMs leaked on this show. I mean, as a matter of fact, a couple of us was in the DM.
We made up.
Maybe they were only saying.
We made up, and he actually had something good to say about me when I retired or stepped down. And I don't plan on, when people say, you going to run.
King.
What was the most frustrating part about being the mayor, like when you wanted to do stuff? And
frustrating thing about, I don't mind telling you, things come up as mayor or town council that, I'm big on transparency, but there's some things that should be, when it comes to employee performance, things like that, that's personnel. You're talking about people's reputations. You got to keep your mouth shut.
Confidentiality.
And people would call me from a restaurant, I'm not going to say who, they're private citizens, say, Billy, I'm distressed about the things I'm hearing about so-and-so. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they would recite verbatim the truth as to what was going on, and they had heard it from other elected officials talking loudly in a public restaurant about stuff they should not have been discussing. That's a no-no. It's not against the law, but it's in bad taste, and it really can. How would you feel as a citizen if you think, hey, I love the town, everything's going great, and then you hear a bunch of decision makers talk, basically airing the dirty laundry, which really should be confidential because you're talking about, employee performance, which, and sometimes it's alleged that an employee has done something wrong or not done the job right.
So to follow up on that question, what do you think was your biggest accomplishment as the mayor? Because before you answer that, how long were you the mayor?
16 and a half years. Four
Damn,
terms.
That? I didn't even. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's not like a real. So who's the mayor right now?
Ben Green. He's in his second year, finishing up his second year. Ben Green.
I'm sorry, but I mean, maybe I'm just naive to the fact. All y'all knew Billy was the mayor for 16 years.
Nah, for real. I knew he was still in there. I knew he was still in there, but he the only person I ever knew was the mayor. I ain't never known
But you asked about accomplishments.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something I got blind. That's a good question. And I remember I was speaking at schools, and I love speaking to kids. I love trying to encourage kids. And a young girl in 7th grade said, "What's your biggest accomplishment as mayor?" And I was like, I just never really think of things like that because I myself alone can't accomplish a lot. But I will tell you this, because I thought about the question someone posted on Facebook. Some of the things I'm most proud of you don't see here, and I can tell you one of them, and I put my neck out on this. Back in 2007, the military was going to bring the Loud jets from Virginia Beach to do touch-and-go landings at Pickett and fly back to Virginia Beach because Virginia Beach folks were tired of the noise. And I was like, whoa. So Virginia Beach wants to have its cake with the jets and all the money they mean for the economy, but come to Southside, bring the noise, and then go back. And I came out against it just like that. And then some of the council members are trying to work out a backdoor deal where, hey, man, they could land and only the Dinwiddie County folks are really going to hear it. And I said, no, that's not neighborly. We got to fight. The one thing we have in Southside that we have peace and quiet, relative safety. So I fought that. The new medical center building, the Bon Secours was going to leave Blackstone in 2006. We worked to get a grant to build a new building.
Is that? That's the one that's right
down by McDonald's.
Okay.
Yes, that. Okay. On my watch, we became a Virginia Main Street community. I cast a tie-breaking vote to keep the Armory, which is going to be a Virginia State, Virginia Union hospitality training facility that's going to work in concert with the Inn at Blackstone and some of the other food businesses and be a community center for everybody, basketball included. People can have events there. Main Street, our Main Street is a Virginia Main Street program, which gives business people grants for the facades. That happened on my watch. I just don't like to think in terms of what I did, but I look back on 16 years. I will say this, and I may be wrong about this, but one of the things I've really tried to foster is to give people a voice. Yeah. When I go meet with people, and I would go everywhere, I would go to every neighborhood. They say, well, man, my voice doesn't matter, man. I said, come to town council and speak. And I was pleased a lot of times when we had a full house. Light bills. I said, folks, yes, we can change this.
We talked about that.
I see people complaining about blacks on light bill all the time.
November 2013 used to be when you got your light bill, you got it on the 1st, you had to pay by the 15th. When I was mayor, I got to extend it to the 30th to give people 2 more weeks to pay. I was proud of that. But the people, local government, this is important to everybody listening here, local government, whether it's town or county, can do the greatest amount of good or the greatest amount of harm in the shortest amount of time. That's why your local folks, everybody talks about who president is and who's on TV. It's your local folks that can make a bigger difference in your life. They can improve your neighborhood, run curb and gutter down your street, put street lights up. Congress ain't gonna do that. They can't agree what day of the week it is.
Speaking of, so did you ever think about going further into politics other than just the mayor?
I would be lying if I said no. I've been asked about that a lot, I'll be honest with you, and I will never say never. But I will tell you, and I say this with all modesty and all humility possible, I've got the head for it. I've got the heart for it. I don't think I've got the insides for it. I don't think I've got the stomach to take, okay, Mr. Coleburn, this next person is a big donor, and they don't like your vote on this. And so I just don't like playing that money game, man. Now, I mean, I don't mind telling you, I had somebody fairly heavy hitter. Yeah. They told me that if I wanted to run for a certain office well beyond Blackstone, don't worry about the money. But again, that's what they tell you up front. Yeah. And then guess what? That person who provides the money, guess what? At some point, there's going to be I'm like, I need you to vote like this. It's going to be your conscience versus office. And that's why we need term limits.
Which I was about to just say that, and I don't know you that well. I really just started paying attention. It's crazy. You've been mad like half our lives. I ain't even know, dude. I didn't know. I really didn't know nothing really till I looked at the paper.
I was at your baptism. You didn't know that?
I'm like, you covered that, Joe? You covered that too? But I didn't. I really didn't know a whole lot about you. But just hearing you today, it seems like whether you feel a certain way on it, like you're gonna be like fair on, you know, where people like how people can vocalize themselves, how people can, you know, come to you and kind of tell that side of the story. It seems like you giving people like a fair shot, regardless of what your personal opinion may be on certain topics of it.
I want to be accessible,
Yeah.
transparent, and even if there's somebody, like I said, I mean, I went to organizations. I didn't wait to be invited. When I ran for mayor each time, there's certain civic groups I had appeared before, went before the NAACP. On a lot of national issues, we may not agree on a lot of things, but locally, I mean, I'll be honest with you, some of my strongest support was some of the prominent members of the Black community because I reach out and I tried not to be just a show horse. I was a workhorse. If I tell you I'm going to do something, bring it up, it's not going to be like, well, Billy never did that. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to advocate. And sometimes, like I say, as mayor, say somebody comes to you with an idea, you're like, man, this idea, we probably can't afford it. That's not my job. My job as a mayor is to be the liaison between the people and the town council and to bring it up and say, look, I got a citizen lives on such and such street. They got drainage issues. It needs to be looked at. But it always helps, folks, if you're watching, go to the meetings and speak. Because when those elected officials look at you in the eye and see that you're a voter, they start listening. They start listening. Facebook, they'll say, "Oh, Facebook." Yeah. When you're behind that podium and say, "I got a petition signed by," I'll tell you who it was. A nice couple on Luke Street. They wanted speed bumps. I can't remember the name. They showed up, and the lady said, "We'll be back." And a few weeks later, no speed bumps. They came back. Third meeting, guess what? Luke Street and Fall Street got speed bumps now.
They got speed bumps out there?
3 on each street.
I ain't been down
Really?
there.
Yep.
Nah, I can't ride down that street. Some places I just can't go.
He said,
I hate to tell you, I'm a branch. I can't go on some of these streets. I got to get back home. Some of these streets is dangerous out here. I wasn't allowed back then. I ain't allowed right now. So that's interesting.
Let me say one other thing to you, and I'll let you run. I don't want to filibuster here.
No, you good, man.
The most rewarding thing of serving as mayor was getting to know my hometown. Blackstone's small, so you think, we all should know our town. By serving as mayor, I got really expanded to we have so much musical talent. When I go to churches, I'm like, why isn't this person singing on an album or something like that? Right. But children, going and speaking to children and trying to, stress to them the importance of being involved. Education. I'll tell everybody out there, I'm a capitalist. I want to make money legally. I want everybody to make as much money as they can legally. If we buy a television at Walmart and it doesn't work, guess what? We're going back with the warrant, with the receipt, want my money back or want a new TV. Right. We get education. It's it's the biggest expense of government. And most of us, myself included, we don't try to get our money's worth. We try to take the shortcut. And that's my message to kids out there. And it was cool being mayor and being around children because I just love kids. I coached basketball for a number of years and may return to that.
What basketball you coach?
I coached 12U girls for 15 years.
Oh, I'm about to say.
Because I started coaching because my girl Caroline was really good. And
MK was he commit to it.
Yeah, that's true.
15 years, 16
got 10 years
if I'm in it, I'm in it.
Yeah, I can tell.
Listen,
30,
it's like the show. It's like I'm not coming here and go, okay.
Well, Billy, you bullshit us. Oh, I'm sorry. Beat that up. Hey, we've been trying to get Billy since he shot Gator in January.
Listen, man, I got to tell you something. That I don't know him that well. He's tough because he was calling me out, I think, from the ER. And I'm like, man.
He went live. He went live?
What he said?
I'm just glad the guy, whoever was, that's live, like, dude, he's calling you out. I'm like, I got no beef with the.
Hey, shout out Gator, man. What Gator? Man, Gator was in Alaska.
I just talked to Gator yesterday.
I hope
Gator
good. Yeah, Gator good.
He doing good.
I remember Gator went Facebook Live, though, from the joint. In the joint, he like, I'm all right.
Boy, I sold you. That boy, I sold you.
I'm like, didn't he just get shot? Like, what's crazy? I was at Cambridge Elementary. I was at the school.
I've been DOA to see they shot me like that. I can tell you right now.
Man, I'd have panicked. I was left right there.
That's crazy. So look, what I was gonna ask you was, you've been in Blackstone. Like Blackstone is Billy. Billy is Blackstone. You've been here. What do you think, or what else could this place? Because here's where I'm going with this question. It feels like we're so divided, bro. Like in everything we're doing, from youth league sports now to us coaching at the high school now. We've been down there for a while, to the work that I'm doing out in the schools and in the communities, from everything I'm trying to do. Just walking down the street and just hearing, like, our neighborhoods are divided, our government is divided. Like, what do you think this place needs to get all in one, or just on one accord?
Man, that's the question of the hour. That's the greatest question ever. My thing is, I don't think you're wrong when you say that we're divided. But I will say when I have face-to-face contact, one-on-one with people, I tend to have positive experiences. I tend to realize that we all want the same thing. Yeah. We want safety. We want to be able to pay our bills. Want our children to have a better life than all of us. And I don't think we're, well, this will sound cliche and a cop-out. We certainly are more united as a community in Blackstone than we were 50 years ago. Yeah. I'd even say 30 years ago. I'd even say 20 years ago. But
what you mean by that, though?
Well, look at let's look at neighborhoods. Okay, I live on Brunswick Avenue, and my wife and I are blessed to have I love my house. I'll probably die in the house. If you were to drive down the street, I guarantee a lot of folks say, "Yeah, that's the white end of town." White. I have a family of 6 across the street from me because the children are grown now. African American. I have a biracial couple, one house over.
It's diverse.
We are through becoming better people. The town, here's a prime example. We have a ward system in Blackstone. We have to draw a certain number of black wards and white wards. Well, it used to be easy. That's a black ward, that's a black ward, that's a white ward. Now, based on the census results, it's like, ooh, we got to draw a ward that looks like this to make the percentages what the court says they got to be. So that's proof right there that we're living together. The problem is, Ralph, and I think you both agree, when I grew up in Blackstone, I can tell you, my neighbors, I spoke to my neighbors, I played with my neighbors, I can tell you everybody 10 houses down the street. Now, and this is my fault, I'm a grown man. I've got neighbors who moved in, and I'm nice to them when I see them, but I don't really engage with them. Really? We're all in our own little world. We're busy. We're all busy in our own little world. And the fact of the matter is we're killing time on the screen doing what they do today. Oh, look at so-and-so. Oh, you know. That's a great question, man. That is the question.
Right.
And
because
I don't know the answer.
When I look at it, I'm just like, do we all, sometimes even just hearing people talk, even people hearing, I love the point you made about the government and how, we always look at the top. We look at Kamala and we look at Trump. And it's like, really, we need to be looking at the Billies and, what'd you say,
Ben, the council members.
Like those people, right? Our school board, all of those people.
They're going to do way more for you.
That's what I'm saying. But like, sometimes I listen to people, I'm like, does everybody know we all broke? We all poor? Like, in the grand scheme of things, everybody know we're all, like, they ain't billionaires walking around here. Like, we have so much of the resources and the things we need right here. I was just talking to the guy who just cut my hair before the show. I was like, literally, why are we not running a commercial for him and putting it in one of our ads? Why are we not collaborating? And I'm glad we got you, but why are we not collaborating with you when we got some good news to put on the front page of the paper?
Well,
why are we not?
Right, if I don't know about it, it's like, people think, well, it was on Facebook. I said, I'm not Facebook.
Branch was positive you knew about his kickball game.
I was tight about that because I said, Billy, ain't no way you ain't know. Nah, we gonna address that right now.
Kickball,
Billy, you telling me I've been doing that kickball game 4 years. You ain't know about the kickball game.
I promise you, I've never. Where and when?
I was tight. It been in the same place every year, and I said, "There's no way Billy ain't nobody kickball game."
Listen, I said, "Maybe Billy ain't see it." I said, "Bullshit."
But here you go. Let's flip it though. Let's flip it. And you were kind of being critical of yourself, and you shouldn't be. You said, "Man, I feel bad. I didn't know Billy was mayor 16 years."
Yeah.
The reason people don't know what's going on a lot of times is because they're busy trying to pay bills and raise their kids, and they don't really care about. And they see because of social media, a lot of it they see is, "I don't have time for that drama. I don't want the drama." That's what social media has done.
I be all for the drama, Billy. They be on my back.
But
I was supporting Trump on election day.
We're gonna get into it.
Yes.
Look, I fell into the trap of I started knowing Billy from the lives and seeing you going. I never had a real conversation with you. You know what I mean?
You talking about the Currier record lives?
Yeah. Well, just by seeing you, and again, having this discussion right here is like now I can know you and talk to you and message you a couple times. Sure. You were telling me about your influences, your people that you love in sports. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know that side of you. I only knew almost like the media personality.
But when I'm live, I try to be professional. Because I grew up watching Walter Cronkite and those guys, so like I'm not going to be goofy. Now my personal page, I'll be goofy. Yeah. But if people who really know me know that I'm a goofball, I love to laugh.
That's why I wanted you to talk to the people today and to show people I have this, but I'm also a human being. You know what I mean? You have other interests.
I'll tell you right now, and people are going to freak out when they hear this. Some of my prime influencers growing up, the TV show Good Times, JJ, Kid Dynamite. Yeah. That's where I got my love of rhyming. Sometimes I can rap. I'll rap and play. Rap.
Them
Get Billy on the track. He got a studio in here.
Dr. J, Nature Boy, Ric Flair's. I love folks with the swagger and the showmanship. I love Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Howard Cosell, the sportscaster. Those are the people. I mean, other than my family. Those are people that shaped me because I was more or less. Both my parents worked. I went home and I could watch TV.
I saw you dropping the bars on Facebook. I'm like, check it out.
I'm good for a verse or two, and then I get to struggling.
We got to get Billy in the
I'm the Nature Boy. I'm the Pride and Joy.
I ain't know he was a rapper. Man, I ain't know Billy can rap.
But that's I'm happy
but the
that
internet
people
not real anyway. It's not how people. I argue with people on the internet all day. I don't argue with nobody in person.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
and I think that's where I honestly I like this. Hold on for a second. Who's about to get off my kickball game? Hold on. I got to circle back to this kickball game.
Tell me about the kickball game.
We have it this year though.
I want to be there.
Billy gonna be there.
Billy better be there with a camera and a recorder too.
From there.
So man, we got next year my last year because after Gutty tore his knee up, I can't go out like that.
Yeah.
So for the past 4 years, gonna be 5 next year, then it'll be the last one. I've been doing a move for mental health because I'm in the professional mental health.
I applaud that.
Yeah, so I do a move for mental health kickball game where it's actually my biggest fundraiser of the year. The reason that I'm able to provide services for dirt cheap or pretty much free is because I try to do fundraisers throughout the year where I'm getting donations, the clothing, everything that I pretty much bring in goes back out into whether it's feeding people, angel trees, we got a Thanksgiving giveaway next weekend in Prince Edward. But the move for mental health, pretty much, we just get a bunch of adults who still think they got game, bunch of teams, and we out there just playing kickball all day long.
Where
it's like
and
a tournament. We did it. Well, we always do it at Blackstone Primary, behind Blackstone Primary. Okay. Cut the field. I try to line it best I can. Lines be a little squiggly sometimes, but I try to line it. But it's really a big fundraiser. It's just a positive day. We have kids. We got. I usually try to do games. One I had to blow up screen. To play movies, activities, and I just try to literally give it back.
Great photo ops, kids playing.
But it's been
grown up too.
That's why I'm shouting that Billy. I got 4 years worth of over 600 pictures. I'm telling you, Billy ain't nobody kickball game.
I promise you, man. Because that's the kind of stuff I would much rather go to that type stuff than have to go cover a trial.
That's what
or
my
a 3-hour meeting.
That's what my mind went. I'm like, so where is the good stuff at? And I know you do. I don't read the paper every week. Because I'm not a newspaper type of guy. But I will click a link though.
Yes. Yeah.
Sometimes Facebook will share that link.
Click those links.
Yeah, they click those links.
Watch those views.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask about that too. Is like, how much positive news and positive press do you get to cover throughout the year versus, again, the media?
Well, it's largely There's two answers to that question. One of it is sort of event dependent. I mean, if God forbid, if we just have a year full of just horrible news, obviously the time, my pie, we all have a pie chart each week. Yeah. Mine is 168 hours. That's how long a week is. When the time the press rolls, the clock is ticking, tick tock tick. I got 168 hours till the next press run. Well, if I'm at a meeting for 3 hours and I'm in the courtroom and there's been news happening, but I've got some great contributors that provide me positive stuff, like the Gators. James Neal is a great man that sends me stuff. But I want as much as I can do. And sometimes I'll tell people, I'm like, look, I'm coming to your event, but I may not be in next week's paper because I got to go through the photos, edit them. Like Carl knows that. That takes forever. You got to pick which ones, and then you have to tell. Some parents say, "Oh, you took my kid's picture." I took 100 kids' pictures. Probably 6 will make the paper. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
How much of that be people just attracted in negativity? Like, so if you do run a story about something positive or some good stuff, people just got a natural inclination to want to grasp onto the bullshit.
Yeah.
So some of it probably not even your fault sometimes, but people just like, he just straight on the bullshit.
And Chuck, I personally think our best episode 6, our last episode of last season, I felt like was one of my favorites ever. Probably got like 200 views. We put out some random episode with a bunch of craziness, rumors, all this stuff. 1,000 views. People, you ain't even get the good. I gave you some real good stuff in this.
That's what I'm saying. That's what we learning with this a little bit. Like we sitting there having good conversation with you. This episode gonna do well because a lot of people been waiting on it. But just in general, if we talking about some good stuff,
The Tim episode, fatherhood.
The views would be her.
Yeah.
And we come on here clowning, talking about dumb
Drama.
shit.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So how do you not fall into the...
You like the Cowboys, so they talk about y'all all the time. They talk about
We
y'all
deserve
every
it
day.
this year.
Y'all
We deserve it this year.
3-7, and they still talk about y'all every day.
Again,
People want to hit bullshit.
Well, but here's the fact that people don't realize. People say, this kills me. But again, people don't know, so I don't blame them. Oh, man, I can't believe you're just trying to sell newspapers. Our revenue at the newspaper probably is, I kid you not,
You ain't selling papers for a living.
5 to 10% maybe of the newsstand sales.
Yeah.
Of course, our subscribers help, but
Yeah.
it's advertised. It's advertised, and of course, we're branched down to Facebook. We have Facebook packages, that sort of thing. But so basically, I want news that's relevant. Certainly, I want something compelling. I mean, if it's just boring,
right.
Who's going to have it? Today, we're going to interview the guy that never talks and is boring.
Yeah,
that's
it ain't gonna work.
Now people may want to say, "Well, I've seen that."
We had people actually come here all the time, be like, "But what you want to talk about though?"
Right.
What can you... Yeah.
Like, all right, you want to come on here? I mean, sure, we had some of our friends on here, but they be having stuff going on that we already know about.
Right.
If we don't know you and you just want to come on here, like, all right, but
And just sit up. You can't really... Again, compelling.
You ask a good
It's not that
question
compelling.
from the government aspect about what can we do to be more united. Again, that's a tough one. That's a frustrating one for me because I'm a person that likes to have answers and likes to say yes, because I believe we can fix anything. I truly believe there's no such thing as can't, but there's some things that it's going to take a while, and maybe conversations like this are part of it. Of course, this election was so divisive, and
How you feel about it?
All right,
Because you talking about divided.
I'm gonna be straight up.
It almost turned into like, that's...
Well, I'll be straight up
This
with you.
got crazy.
I thought momentum was going Trump's way, but I thought it'd be close. I had a friend in Texas message me. He wanted to bet me. He said, "Look, I'm gonna bet you Trump wins the popular vote." I said, "Ain't no way." I was shocked he won the popular vote. I voted for him 3 times. I'm gonna be the first to tell you.
It wasn't really that close.
Well, and it's not because Trump's just a great speaker and public speaker. One of my friends is a Democrat. It's like, Billy, have you ever listened to speeches? I'm like, yeah, the rallies get crazy, but I think most people, we need immigrants because we want immigrants. We're a nation of immigrants. But I think most people, when they want order. No one wants to see chaos. And the border was just chaos. That's one issue. I think.
So you like the border stuff?
I'm in favor.
What does the border got to do with you living in Blackstone?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I've covered several fatalities, several fatal accidents where the driver that was at fault was here illegally.
When? In 1976?
Two men in Brunswick were killed 3 years ago. No. It's happened several, and sadly, sometimes it's been the immigrants themselves who, I'll never forget, there was a crash out on Route 40 just outside of Blackstone, and they were undocumented, and of course, one person was flown. I think they ended up dying. They were convinced there were 2 people in the car. They saw blood in the passenger seat. Okay? And then all of a sudden, a few days later, there's blood at a business on the Walmart in the town. And then 2 months later, there's a decomposed body behind a building in Blackstone. The person was scared. They were afraid to get medical help because they were not here legally. So that's a case where the illegal immigration is not just about, protecting Americans or, a certain type of American. It's about protecting, it's for everybody's safety.
Is that a big enough variable? I guess.
yeah.
It's for now, my wife asked the same question. Billy, how much of it really is an issue in Blackstone? Very, very minor. But I try to think bigger than just myself.
I don't know about Blackstone. That's a lot of.
I just try to think about our country as a whole. I want immigrants. My big thing, why I voted for Trump this time? And this is, and I'm ashamed to say,
You're capitalist. I mean,
not even that. Not even that. And like I said, I'm not ever going to criticize anybody that's worn the uniform or served. That's not the soldier's fault. But we've gotten overextended militarily in places we don't belong. And in the quote-unquote war on terror, what I fear we've done, in hindsight, of course, after 9/11, man, I was in kick butt mode. Let's go. But what we've done, think about it, you're a 6-year-old Iraqi, and you're over there, and all of a sudden, your aunt, uncle, extended family, they got killed by some drone strike that we did because we were going after some terrorists. How is that kid going to ever grow up able to even respect America?
Right. They're going to want revenge.
We need to train our soldiers and keep training so we never have to use them. Never have to use them. But we stick our neck and sending weapons. It's like, okay, y'all are having a battle. And okay, I want peace, but I'm feeding you. I'm gonna supply you the weapons.
And
if I were you, I'd kick my butt.
Right.
And that's what I worry. I voted seriously. My biggest fear, I got 2 son-in-laws at a draft age. I think we are close, man, to a type of world war, either with Iran and or Russia. Then you got North Korea. And
China.
I think Trump is a wild card. His 4 years, they were not perfect, but no American soldiers got killed in conflict, in combat.
Yeah, I thought it was wild when Trump sent the pictures to the dude.
It was gangster.
when he sent the pictures. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't.
That was gangster.
So let me give you my take. Because I think clearly everybody knows about
Yeah,
after his Facebook rant. But my thing was, one, I wasn't a fan of the whole Department of Education thing, right? Just being in, and I'm gonna be honest, don't know the whole layout of it, but I didn't even like the idea
of abolishing the department.
I didn't like the idea.
I have concerns about
and
that
I'm
as
gonna just
well.
be completely honest, because then I just personally feel like,
I said, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
because I'm just, to me, I feel like you being able to, or the states being able to dictate what's being taught, how it's being measured, what success looks like, you could literally eliminate. You know what I mean? I mean, we're already teaching that, Columbus discovered America. You know what I mean? Which I think is the craziest thing I've ever heard, being that the Louisiana Purchase happened. So you're telling me you brought something that you discovered from somebody that, to me, I think that's a mystery can't nobody explain
1803, we bought it from France.
So,
That's right.
yeah, so but if you discovered it, why are we purchasing it? That's because people's already here. Right. But let's just leave that there. But, and then thinking about just, it was more of a personal thing.
Right.
Where I came from, who raised me, who did whatever. I just couldn't get behind the policies and the practices he was talking about. And then the way he was talking to and about some of the, communities that I directly support.
I don't like the nicknames. I don't like the name calling, but I'll say this, and y'all may disagree. If you took someone that was not an egomaniac, let's face it, Trump is a narcissist and an egomaniac. There's no doubt about that. If you took the policies and took someone that was polite, that was sincere, that was accessible,
and you can say that about any situation,
and tried to be a unifier, he'd have gotten 70% of the vote.
But you can say that in every situation, but that's not the case.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But Trump won on issues.
I don't give a damn how somebody say something. That's because I'm like that.
Well, and that's another thing.
Some people just don't like how you talk to them.
Trump got people
voting
voting.
Some shit, and I feel like it's true. I don't care how you take it.
Right.
If I feel like what I'm saying is true, then that's how I feel. And if somebody talk to me, my fault.
That's right.
If somebody talk to me, and I don't really care for what they saying, but if I agree, I agree. Some people would simply disagree because they didn't like your tone.
Right. But here's the thing about Trump.
I think that's what happened with Trump. Well, a lot of shit he say don't be, to me anyway, too outlandish. It's just, they don't like how he talking.
Right. And
a lot of people just don't like how he talk.
The thing I'll say about Trump,
they would rather somebody, not to cut you off, like Kamal or Biden, where they sugarcoat it. And then what they gonna do though? Some of the same shit Trump was saying.
She had a bad campaign. She
they threw her in a fight. Though.
She didn't become Attorney General of California by not being smart. She just got.
What was she supposed to do in 100 days?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like they should have started with that.
They threw her in the ring.
She tried to do it by She played too much prevent defense, and then by the time she decided to go and get on Fox News and all that, it was too late, and there was too many folks in her head.
Biden should have had bowed out off the rim.
Do you ever think that America would have allowed a black woman to become president anyway?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hell no, Billy. Stop playing.
You don't think? No, hell yeah. We just had had 2 terms of Obama. You don't think Condoleezza?
I said a black woman.
If Condoleezza Rice,
I said a black woman.
Right.
She a coon, right? Damn coon. Condoleezza Rice.
So
come on, dog. No, we're not gonna say that.
So
Billy.
look, can I ask
we're
you?
not saying Condoleezza Rice.
Who get more opportunities?
We're not saying Condoleezza
Who do you think
Rice.
get more opportunities in America? Black men or black women?
Black men.
You crazy as shit. You crazy as shit.
Chuck.
Who
black
you
men,
think America more afraid of?
Black women got it harder than anything in America,
crazy
bro.
As hell. I'm crazy as hell.
Have you met Oprah Winfrey?
What? You tripping?
Oprah, we naming one billionaire. That's what I'm saying.
No. You tripping.
Yeah.
Black women got it harder.
Black men got it harder than everybody.
First, both of them got it hard. Both of them got it hard. But I'm not gonna say.
But I'm almost certain a black woman is more likely to get hired than a black man.
No.
Depends on the job.
Depends on the job.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean,
depends on if it's a black job.
Depends on if
let's just use some of the terminology that's already out there. If it's a black job, then maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Am I right or wrong? No, like that's what I think that's why I couldn't get behind a lot of stuff because I was like, dang.
I don't think.
Well, I understand that. I understand, but one thing I want to hear something Chuck said. He just nailed it. One of the things that Trump did, and it's not my taste, it's not my style, but his crudeness and being blunt. So many people are tired of politicians being so smooth and
that's
all
what I
that.
said. That's what I said.
And here's the thing I'll say about Trump. Trump says out loud the ugly stuff that, guess what?
Nah.
The rich folks say at the cocktail parties behind closed doors.
And guess what? And that shit is wrong.
It's wrong.
I had people talking about what we wearing tomorrow. I've never been to a civil war. I lie to you not.
You know what's so crazy though? I wonder
Trump put a
mirror.
hold on for a second.
Like, this man was never the president.
Trump held a mirror to America. And we liked it. All of that shit that he's putting up front like that, bro.
People
the way he talk
going back to slavery and shit, bro. The man was the president already. You want no
Come
slave.
on, man. I understand that,
Like,
but
so
I'm talking
none
about
of that shit happened.
We
heard this the first
we
time.
know that's not real. That's not happening. But what I'm talking about is the audacity from a lot of these people to be as divisive as what they were. I could care less who won the presidency. I didn't, to be honest with you, like we talked about earlier, the local stuff and more the state stuff was what was, working with me. Because that's why I'm always up at the General Assembly. I go to, Delegate Reed is one of our good partners at UMFS that we actually go to the General Assembly with to advocate for. So, yeah, the presidency is great. But so I didn't really matter, but I'm just like to me the audacity and the divisiveness that people are coming out with now because they feel like they almost can.
You think it's been like that this time? The first time around, it
should always been like that for us.
Was kind of crazy.
But look at here's the go. But look also, the Democratic Party ought to be ashamed of itself for this reason. They had RFK and Tulsi Gabbard, and they wouldn't even let RFK have a debate. One of the reasons Kamala lost, like you said, she couldn't do so much in 100 days.
Right.
They didn't have a fair process. I mean, RFK Jr. from the Kennedy dynasty, he should have been.
I feel you on that point.
They should have had a competition.
He wasn't running again. He should have never even tried.
Well, he should have came out the gate, and they would have had time to do a fair, like a real.
Yeah.
Who can? Now that's a good point we can make.
Right.
Because to me, I feel like that point lives in some facts.
Yeah.
Where you release it 100 days, it's almost literally like we gotta just go with the popular.
Yeah. But think about this, guys. Why did we? Y'all go. I'm a big conspiracy guy. I'll just tell you up front. Why did we have the earliest presidential debate ever? And it was like May or the first week of June. They did that because it was a try. They wanted to see how bad is Joe Biden, how bad is he? Oh crap, he's horrible. All right, switcheroo. Because if they could see if Kamala wasn't the nominee, all that money given, she couldn't use for her campaign. So there was it was so late in the game by the federal election rules, it had to be Kamala.
Can you educate me and maybe if you probably know the answer, but educate me on like all of that money and stuff they be getting.
I'm not
campaigns. Where does that go and come? Like, I never really understood that.
I don't understand how somebody can spend $1 billion. Here's my thing.
It's like, yo, shit.
I think if you're an American and you want to give $1 or $1 billion, whatever, you have the right to do it, but it should be your name and who it is, not these little, the Fund for America pit pack or the,
But like, what do they really use it for? Is it like
advertising TV, YouTube? Heck, I couldn't go on YouTube without seeing a Kamala Harris or a Donald Trump ad. Hey, friends, we only need just $5 will help. Yeah. We're almost there. I didn't give a dime to anybody.
They were paying Meg Thee Stallion.
Come on, man. She ain't even bring Meg. Did you watch Meg? I know you watched it, but
paying them girls to shake their ass.
Who's that?
Meg Thee Stallion when she came out for Kamala's.
He saw that
when she was in Atlanta.
Oh, the celebrity thing.
Yeah, and then it turned into a circus too, right?
It did.
It turned into a circus.
They got their case, bro.
They was in Atlanta going crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Case,
celebrities got to realize too. I think most of us can agree. Listen, I love some celebrities. I love them on both sides. Most of them are left to center. I don't need to know. You're not going to force me.
Amber Rose got to say.
Yeah. So do you think that her picking her vice president was from?
It was horrible.
From where?
He's a governor of Minnesota.
Do you think she should have went with a Pennsylvania?
Here's the real deal. Here's the backstory.
If you're trying to be strategic and win.
You know why Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, didn't want it?
Why?
Because he knew it was a sinking ship. It used to be if you were the VP nominee and lost, then you're the front runner next time. He knew she wasn't going to win. He's like, no, I'm coming out in 2028 with no baggage.
Got you.
No loss on my record.
He didn't want to put his name to it.
Right.
But I'm thinking it probably what you think she asked? Because that was kind of random, I thought.
Yeah, I think she asked.
Okay.
And I think they made the worst pick was that guy. The second pick should have been once Shapiro said no.
Just picked the Rock.
Senator Kelly from Arizona, the astronaut. It's even
You should
keel
ask
guy.
Class.
This guy from Minnesota comes down and goes, hey,
Class
guys,
was
Yeah.
wild.
I'd have just asked The Rock. I'd have just told The Rock, yo, hey,
let's go.
hey, man. Yeah,
I'm gonna kiss my wife with a mask on.
It didn't fit.
Yeah,
it
that's
didn't fit.
what, yeah, they was tripping.
But again, I mean, I probably would have just went with a celebrity too, though.
Yeah, you go back and I'll tell you something. When Tim Waltz was being introduced by his wife after he'd been just nominated or picked by Kamala, if you go watch YouTube footage of his wife speaking and the way he's looking, he's on pins and needles. Instead of like looking at his wife like, gosh, my wife is introducing me, he is like on pins and needles like, hurry up, honey, shut up. You can just see the agitation in his voice. That guy just wasn't relatable, man. That guy was not relatable to anybody.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Do you think the whole Donald Trump thing was real? When he got shot?
Man,
that was
yeah, it was real. If it was, I'll tell you where I was. I was at Lake Gaston, and one of my Republican friends in Florida goes, they just go turn TV on.
I remember
Trump
you
shot.
telling me,
they go turn on TV, Trump shot, and I'm looking, turn on the TV. It was just some kind of
I was in Atlantic
weird
City. I
Trump
told you.
shot.
I
I said, you telling me Trump has been shot? And so my buddy next door turned the news on, and I just saw him collapse behind stage. I mean, he's dead, man.
You immediately thought it was real?
I mean,
he was dead.
Oh, I thought he was dead. I mean, when I first saw it, I saw the footage once again, President Donald Trump, and I just saw him collapse behind the podium, which of course he's supposed to do, and of course he was also being pushed down. But yeah, man, I mean, listen, the thing the media hadn't touched on though that drives me crazy, they talk about God and all that, and I'm not saying it wasn't divine intervention, whatever. And the chart, he turned his head, but the only reason that dude missed, that local police officer climbed the building, startled the guy. The shooter turned and pointed the gun at him. The police officer had to jump, and then that guy who was going to have a kill shot from 130 had to rush a shot.
How did he even get there?
Because the folks in the audience were saying there's a guy on that shit.
But how the hell he get on the top of that thing anyway?
He climbed. But they had a ladder, and then he got to the top of the ladder and put his hands up on the metal.
Right, but nobody could see. Like
people saw it. They was telling them like, hey, it's a dude up there with a gun.
Because I know the lady got fired.
Yeah, they got her.
What was the lady who got fired?
Head of the Secret Service.
She or resigned or fired, whatever it was. But yeah,
they did the right
thing. Well, and
let's
be real. I don't want anyone shot and killed.
Yeah.
Human being, none of the politician, whatever. But imagine, I think America could have been very different if that shot had gone there. First of all, we just seen something. The JFK assassination was bad enough. That was only one film. We just seen his head blow apart from every different angle in the world. Yeah. And I'm not sure. Sure how the country would have reacted.
I know how they would have reacted.
I think it would have been violence in some cities.
They stormed the Capitol because he didn't win.
That was not a good day. It's not a good day.
They gonna explain that. If he would have died,
that is the divisiveness I'm talking about.
Let's talk.
You telling me?
I hate it. I hate vandalism. I hate it.
I've been trying not to say the N word all day, y'all. But so you telling me if 500 people of a different race other than white ran up, took a shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk, that wouldn't have been bodies laid out there from the National Mall to the Capitol?
Well, I don't know. My whole thing is, well, I don't know how to answer the question. All I can tell you is I oppose vandalism. That when I watch, I'll tell you what happened that day.
Damn it, no injuries.
Listen. I watched Trump give the speech. It was Wednesday.
That lady died. I know one lady died for sure.
She got smoked. Unarmed woman was shot and killed.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't release the agent's name who shot and killed her for a long time. Yeah. But I watched him give the speech. I watched him say, we're going to have a peaceful protest, peaceful march to the Capitol. I took a nap. I woke up, my phone's blowing. I'm like, what's going on? When I turned the TV on, I'm going to be honest with you, I was appalled. I opposed vandalism.
Come on, man.
I was appalled. And I'm like, that's just not helping the cause. But I will say this now, you're going to lose your mind on this now. There were agents inside. If you watch a lot of those videos, they were let in. I mean, it was not, I'm telling you, why weren't there more police officers there around that Capitol? My gosh. We've just had the most contentious election.
I'm trying to figure that out myself. I mean, I think it's pretty clear why. Like, they don't,
it's unjustified. You never see Billy. If all of us went to a rally and everybody I went with is like, hey, we're climbing the fence and doing that, I say, guys, y'all lost your mind. I'm out of here.
Climbing no fence.
Yeah, I'm just, and it made me really upset because those who, and I'll tell you something else. Trump, and some of my Trump friends, fellow Trump supporters are mad. Why did he wait through? If I'd have been president, I'd have said, get me out there right now. I'd have gone out there myself and said, guys, girls, get your butt down off the fence.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed he did not do that.
But you knew he wasn't doing that.
But
that's what I'm saying. We knew he wasn't doing that.
I don't think the speech incited. I don't think the speech itself incited.
That's I don't.
But more could have been done to stop it. More could have been done to stop it.
And I just think we sit on two different sides of it. Because I don't know how you can say the speech didn't incite that joint though. Like, I mean, he literally told people like, yeah, we're gonna fight. Like, we're gonna fight. Like, he didn't think the election was real until.
That's a tough one, man. It's a tough one because you and I may not see eye to eye. And I'm not an election denier, but I will say it's interesting to me. It's interesting. No. But if you look at the total votes,
that's what I was about to ask you.
Trump, listen,
why you think he won so big?
Trump got more. Every time Trump ran, he got more votes than the time before. That blows my mind. I mean.
Why you think that is, bro?
I'll be honest. Hey, look, I'm gonna just keep it fair. When I don't like somebody, you can't really tell me too much.
I can't tell you. I'm asking you.
It could be anybody, but it could be anybody. I just don't.
Why you think he blew her out like that?
Because what episode was it when I said that America will not let a black woman be president?
So you think it was so?
I've been said
that was the biggest factor.
I already know, and I know that high-ranking officials, normally white officials, that are the billionaires, the elites that run the country. Because I do believe that elites run the country. I don't care about no presidency.
You're not wrong there.
Elon Musk.
You ain't wrong there.
I think he would have beat anybody.
Why was Elon Musk out there watching the John Jones fight with Trump yesterday? Because he's trying to figure out which power play I'm gonna make. But I do think, man,
if I'm a billionaire, I'm gonna go watch John Jones fight.
But you know what changed the election,
They're not losing twice, bro. They're not losing twice, bro. And that's how it is. You gotta have your guy in there. They won't gonna have no black woman on no president.
You gotta remember the two folks that really won the election with Donald Trump, besides Donald Trump and his issues, Elon Musk and Joe Rogan. And here's the irony: Joe Rogan was a Bernie Sanders Democrat 4 years ago.
That's tough.
The Democratic Party has gone so far left. I mean, let's face it, you mentioned illegal immigration and a big deal. It's not a lot of illegal immigrants here, but the transgender sports thing. Is that a big deal? Not a way, but it lights people on fire, especially anyone that's got a girl.
That's what I'm saying.
If anyone's got a daughter, then like I don't want some trans
issue, right?
It's not.
But when it's talking about the people in what was it, Colorado, and the immigrants was like taking
like
over
knocking on doors and stuff. Yeah,
it was taking over apartment.
Aurora, Colorado.
Yeah.
Right.
They took over in Fort Pickett.
Yeah,
In Chicago, a lot of people from Venezuela. It's been like a big thing over there, like with violence from Venezuela.
I want immigrants to come here. I just want vetting. We need immigrants because guess what? Americans we're not replenishing.
If they came in by the millions, how many of them working?
Listen, I wish I cared a whole lot. The issues, I think all these are issues. I think it's issues from both sides of the need. Everybody got.
Sure.
It's the person for me. I hate to say it this way. I just don't like the person.
That's cool though. I
get it. It's like when we debating over sports figures and do you like Mike or you like LeBron? Right. At this point, man, I just don't like you. Yeah, I feel you. You feel me? And so you know what? I go back and I agree. I agree to the point you said. If it was anybody else raising these issues, I may not have that big of a deal. I just really don't like the person, right? Because of all of the epithets that he said.
I'm glad you was able to get that off your chest.
But he has said plenty. Donald Trump has conducted himself in a way where it's obviously
low character.
There are going to be people that don't like him. And listen, I'm not. I don't know. Character. You know what? You don't know what's in someone's heart. People say racism, fashion, whatever. I am an issues guy. And like I said, there are a lot of issues listen, I know people in my family, man, that the abortion issue. I mean, I really thought the abortion issue was gonna kill Donald Trump.
Not from a black woman. I'm trying to tell you, that was the problem.
All right.
I think. Chuck don't believe so. But we can move on. Look, we only got Billy for a short amount of time. So what we're going to do real quick, and we appreciate everything.
Man,
so what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get back to it, all right? Thank y'all.
If it's not in depth, you're just scratching the surface.
What's going on, listeners? Before we jump into the next section of the podcast, we want to take a second to thank our incredible sponsors, No Label. At No Label, they believe in more than just clothing. We believe in empowering individuals to embrace their mental health journey while fostering a sense of community that thrives on understanding and support. Not only do we create stylish clothing and comfortable streetwear for everybody from men, women to children, but we also support our community through a variety of mental health resources and mental health advocacy. We provide vital mental health support in the home, school, and community settings. Our mission is to eliminate stigma surrounding mental health to encourage open conversation. So when you choose No Label products, you're not only getting fantastic apparel, you're contributing to a movement that promotes mental health awareness and support. Together, we can make a difference. For more information, please visit our website at www.ihavenolabel.com to explore our empowering clothing line and discover more about the mental health support initiatives that we're doing in your communities today. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, right back at it, coming off of hey, that was some real good conversation.
That was intense, man. That was good.
It was good. And what I was telling you during break is that I don't think people have genuine, like, respectful political conversations like this where ain't nobody getting mad, we still friends, you know what I mean? And I think that was kind of the divisiveness that I kind of, you know, was speaking about. It feels like people get so emotionally wrapped up into it that we can't just say, here's my side, here's your side, here's what happened, and then kind of just end it there. It seems like it just got a little crazy. So I'm glad that we could have that.
Why should we? And I'm guilty of it because I've got 2 or 3 relationships that need to be repaired over politics from some college friends. But think about it. We're going to get in a fight and argue with people over people that will never see us and we'll never see them. I mean, getting a fight over something, somebody local, that's got an impact on your life. The fact of the matter is, a lot of the crazy stuff is being talked about in Washington right now. It's not. Listen, thank goodness the founders, Congress is supposed to have all the power, the votes. Presidents. I can't stand executive orders. Presidents were not supposed to have all this power. I'm hereby order this to happen. Congress is supposed to vote. And we've let the presidency get too powerful and it's become too celebrity. It's become, we should care more about who's in Congress than the president, but the media has created the presidency. It's everything. It's who's going to run the government. It's not the president. It's the people's representatives. It's Congress.
True.
But you want to talk about sports, man. I'm sorry.
Well, no. Look, because it was a great segue. You mentioned celebrity. So, y'all, let's talk about that celebrity boxing match that happened, a couple weeks ago. So we had last week the Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. And
you call it a fight?
It was a fight.
Bad.
It was I don't know what that was.
Tyson
That
legs was giving out on the
slap boxing in a high school bathroom. What was that, bro? Like,
it was sad, man. Iron Mike looked so good in the training videos.
What was that?
And he landed 18 punches.
I told y'all the internet not
He
real.
landed 18 punches the whole fight?
Jake Paul landed 78 punches. Mike Tyson landed 18
punches. I didn't even see this.
Most of them were in the first 2 rounds.
Because after the bell run, man, I think I started watching Equalizer 3. I was like, what else on Netflix? Like,
the women fought better, and the other undercard.
I saw,
those two guys, those two welterweights.
That girl got cheated too.
I saw that. I think she actually did win that fight.
Yeah.
But wow. So, like, are you more like proud of Tyson for doing that, or like
listen, getting 58 years old and doing that? I'm proud that he gave it a run. It was just being 56. I kind of want to see the old guy say, "Hey." He can still do it. The Father Time is undefeated, man.
Might keep your phone line open. Jake Paul might call your ass.
You think?
I wanted him to beat the crap out of Jake Paul because I was tired of the little trash.
I knew that one.
No.
Jake Paul amazes me though because when he fights, he's so vulnerable. I mean, I know he's tall, he's got a long reach. Tyson in his prime, and even now, he is aggressive while also defending himself. And Jake, I just think the right fighter is knocking him on his butt.
Yeah. But it won't be.
I saw Jake, and I think Jake looked at Mike by round 2 and said, I can't do this to him.
But
I can't do this.
I feel like he took it easy on him.
I can't do this to him. I believe because Jake been putting people.
Fourth round, he put a couple punches on him.
He could have killed him.
And listen, Jake,
he gonna knock him off for real.
Old or not, Jake been putting people ass up.
on
the ground.
I told you.
And I think he looked and kind of read the room a little bit.
Because people think he's not a real fighter, bro. But
we're getting paid. We don't have to die.
I think he read the room, and I'm glad.
People started booing him.
The first thing Jake Paul actually did that I liked was at the end of the match when he kind of honored him and was just like, thanks for.
Yeah.
Because I think he knew, and he could have been an asshole and knocked him out.
That probably would have ruined him, though. He would have knocked him out.
But I think they were friends a little bit because he was. He said that they had kind of a relationship. I know they tried to spark up that punch.
That way was
the slap. I thought that was about as fake as hell. But
hard to say.
You got to sell it. You know,
right?
He slapped the shit out.
But I think he did slap him though.
He baby slapped him. But I think what I wanted,
he did though.
But you know what I wanted to happen out of this fight, and it's not going to do it. I want boxing to be relevant. When I grew up, man, Muhammad Ali, Leon Spinks, all that, and now it's UFC, which I do like UFC. I love Conor McGregor. I love the smack talk.
Straight to a far away. Y'all saw Mike Tyson had his ass out.
On the thing, hold on. First of all, we're going to ignore the fact that he. Hold on, we're going to ignore the fact that he kissed the dude first.
I don't know what's up with Mike.
Kissed the dude, I said I love you, and then walked off in slow motion with his ass out. I didn't understand that. First of all, why did the camera? That's bad. Why did the camera do that to him though? Because the camera could have stayed
cut away.
They went.
Like he kissed dude and then
I love him, I love you, and then walked off
and saw his ass.
What's going on, Mike? But I mean, I think it's honorable what Mike did. I think it's for the people like you who watched Mike.
We were all hoping for a comeback, man.
You know, but we knew the age and attrition, man.
But people got to people could have got Mike hurt though. Somebody got to learn to be like, bro.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm
past your prime.
But that's why I'm glad that I think Jake read the room and probably read the crowd and felt it and probably said, I can't.
He took mercy on him.
He was like, I'm going to knock his ass off.
He took mercy on him, I think.
But Mike gassed out so quick that he was like,
man.
But look, listen, you know, we've all been in fights. Listen, like even a school fight. I ain't never been in no
2-minute fight, though. Yeah. 2 minutes is a long time.
That's an eternity.
30 seconds. Usually they fight at 30 seconds for somebody.
I was a kid, get mad. I chased everybody around the house for an hour with a knife or something.
Last time I got in a fight, man, I was in 8th grade. And I don't remember. I remember somebody said something. I made a comment. I said, you were talking about me or my family. And they said family. And all I remember was someone was laying on the ground and one of my buddies had my hand up like, Billy, and I felt horrible, man. I can't stay. I can't stay, man. I almost like cried because I hurt somebody.
Billy, I do this little thing. I don't let people skim past. Run that story back. I was too busy. I was somewhere else.
We were playing kickball.
Okay, all right, there we go.
And a dear friend who was still a dear friend was teasing me because I was it. And it was kick tag, where you kick the ball to hit the person. And so I was it, and I was missing by kicking the ball. You're trying to hit somebody with the ball, and then you're it. And they made a comment about my last name.
Billy, it's probably an ethnic barrier between that game and me. But go ahead.
And I said, look, you talking about me or my whole family? And he said, your whole family. And all I remember is my buddy from Lunenburg raised my hand up.
You won.
And I felt and I immediately
introduce
apologized.
Light heavyweight. So, okay.
That's the last time I threw a punch.
Come on, man.
I've threatened to throw a few. When I was mayor, there was a time where I could have gotten in some trouble with some things I said.
Y'all being Billy Commons talking crazy. Better know who you playing with.
So, but your point was 2 minutes to be fighting is a long time. People really don't understand.
Because you're adrenaline, man. Adrenaline.
And then you only go to the court for 30 seconds. You got to come back out there.
Y'all see Mike's face though on some of the meat, man. Mike
listen, Mike was done, bro.
But do you think this too? Wasn't he? I know he tried to train pretty well. If this is wrong, forgive me. But I read somewhere he was openly bragging about he smoked weed.
Yeah.
Trained.
He's strong.
Yeah. You seen him on the pivot?
That's not conducive to boxing. You know.
Yeah. No. You seen him on the pivot
especially
when he gave
at 58.
When he gave Fred Taylor the shroom, and Fred pump faked that joint,
I'm just glad. He said,
I'm not doing this.
I ain't touching nothing like that, man.
So that one was tough, man. And his legs looked smaller for some reason. He had a brace on. He just didn't seem. He seemed built from waist up.
But you know,
it seemed like he was real put together.
But you look at the best. But seriously, go back. You look at the best athletes of our time. Look at Michael Jordan, skinny legs. Look at
You won't punch people though, man.
True.
Hey man, none of these dudes was punching.
Sugar Ray Leonard had skinny legs.
Yeah, but he was tiny though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he was middleweight.
You talking Mike? Mike was built like Johnny Bravo. He was big up top, just tiny, man.
Yeah, but that thing dragged on too long. It was a bust. That was a bust.
But I'm glad he didn't put him down though.
Correct.
Netflix don't need to host nothing else.
God, that was terrible.
Yeah. Y'all was messing up. I've been seeing the jokes. Mine didn't mess up.
Yours never messed up?
Oh, mine did. I was watching my phone.
Ain't no way your jank can mess up.
Mine didn't mess up. I was plugged into the joke.
It never buffered the whole
time.
time.
Mine never buffered, bro.
Nonsense.
Like I started on my phone and then I came to the crib. I was good.
Mine didn't buffer. So but I saw the jokes.
Man,
But
that's why I
mine
sent
didn't.
you the.
Yeah.
Well,
I really thought my phone was messed up when you
What did
sent
they
me
get paid? 40. Tyson got 40 and Jake got 20. Something like.
Nah, other way around.
Tyson got 20.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord have
I'm
mercy.
good.
I mean,
I'm good. Not to get knocked out.
Yeah.
I can remember what I ate this morning and everything. Yeah. But why was he biting his gloves? So I'm sure you've watched a lot of his fights.
He never did that when he was in his prime.
He ain't do that
He
shit.
never did that. He never listen. But people don't understand that anybody under 40 cannot appreciate the fact when Tyson fought, you usually had to see it the next day because it's pay-per-view. But when and Tyson was an animal. I mean, it was like
he probably never fought that long either. You know Tyson.
Right, but he had 22 knockouts in the first round of his career. When he got knocked out in 1990 in Japan by Buster Douglas, that was like shockwaves, man. He was never the same after that.
Right.
When his trainer died, Tyson, man, grew up on the streets of Brooklyn. I mean, Tyson had a rough life. But when that trainer died, man, when his trainer Gus Amato died, he was never the same. He never was the same. But I love watching fighting. I love MMA. And but I was hoping this would make boxing relevant again. It didn't.
But I think the judging in boxing is kind of skewed too. I could never. That's why I switched from boxing to UFC probably about 7 years ago. Cause we don't need no judges in the UFC.
If you watch
the
girls fight, bro, that girl, I can't remember.
She got robbed. Silver.
Serrano.
Yeah, Silver Serrano. Yeah.
She should have won.
Yeah,
she definitely should have won.
Again, UFC. It ain't. It's never too much debate in that.
No, I agree totally. The only debate is who's going to fight who next. But the fight itself, correct.
Yeah.
Somebody going to sleep.
You're going to sleep, or you can put to sleep. It's
5 minutes, man.
It's very rare that it's going to go to the judges.
Yeah.
I could not, if I was an MMA guy, the thing that would get me is I'm a big Conor McGregor fan. Is the fact that they can kick. And that's okay. I could deal with that, but getting on the ground, that's where those grapplers really have the advantage. Because when Conor fought who were the two brothers that were they could take punches, their faces all bloody.
Yes, Nate.
Nick. I watch these fights going, oh, Conor McGregor's got this. I mean, there's no way. I mean, their face is full of blood, and they get him on a mat and get him in wrestling. He's done.
What about like Holloway when he comes and he points to the center the last 30 seconds and they just punch it out right in the center and they just going at it and it's like somebody getting knocked out here.
Didn't he just get knocked out?
He did. He got knocked out.
Yeah, that's on backfire.
He got knocked. But that's the game, though.
He had a good run though.
That's the game where like any punch. That's why I like UFC because any punch.
Right.
I mean, because we saw Anderson Silva. I thought was the best thing ever.
Right.
And then he went in and was ducking and then he got caught.
And what are the gloves? See, one other thing that could have hurt Tyson a little bit. I don't think nothing was really going to help Tyson. But when they went to was it 14? The gloves
14
were
ounces.
14 ounces. That may have cushioned his early. He had some decent blows in the first 2 rounds. But
18 punches.
How about Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather?
He chewed about
Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather.
He ate about 8 ounces of that motherfucker.
Oh man,
He did.
But it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder,
up.
though, man. Was it fixed? I hope not.
That's the only thing about Jake that I can't really. I don't know yet. Is he in it for the money, like the entertainment, or is he in it for actual? He wants to box.
Man,
I think he's a money guy, so that's how it's hard for me to say.
He ain't boxed a boxer.
I think it's both. I mean, he was a YouTuber. I think he obviously likes adoration. He likes fans.
I think it's the bread.
He's got all the money could possibly need unless he doesn't, take care of it. But I think he wants to be a, boxer. But what got me was watching the training videos on Netflix. He was relearning how to properly stand and the angles of a fighter. Tyson knew that stuff in his sleep. I really thought Tyson was going to just
perform a little bit better, but I mean, 60.
Yeah.
60.
Yep.
60 is crazy to be out there just even. Because I saw him one time in the corner, like he let out a scream, like I'm tired. Like,
he probably can kill us, but that boy, he's training too.
Yeah.
People don't take Jake serious. I mean, rightfully so. But he ain't you can't just go out there and do what you want to do to him.
Nah, look, anybody, listen, I don't care how old Mike Tyson is. Anybody that watch him fight and can or watch videos of him and get in the ring with him is a brave man.
Got you.
If someone said, Billy, we're going to pay you $40 million for 2 minutes Tyson,
I ain't getting in there with Tyson. I cracked all them old man jokes. I ain't getting in there with him.
Because Jake Paul, believe it or not, he could take them punches, but
I take
me
that
and you,
for $40 million. I get them.
Me and you.
No way.
You be knocked out. You just wake up. You just wake up with 40 minutes.
Let's save me about.
But if you look at him,
save me 18 minutes.
But if you look at him with the weigh in, I'll be honest with you. Tyson upper body wise looked more in shape than Tyson. Jake looks a little soft, but it works for him. I thought Tyson looked. I mean. For even with the age, I'm like, man, that guy, he looks
like he's drinking Ensure and shit.
So, Somebody, I read a comment. They said, "Get that man 2 balls of prime." While he was, get that man. Hey, so look, so we got probably about 5 minutes. We're gonna get out of here. Some quick hitters, man.
All right.
You like the Cowboys?
I do, and we suck this year.
I know. Well, I mean, listen, I ain't see it.
Got to break it up. Jerry needs to get out of the decision-making process. You got to break it all up. Trade for draft. Do what Jimmy Johnson did in the late 80s. Trade away your stars, get draft picks, and rebuild.
Question: Is Dak your quarterback next year?
He should not be. I like him as a human being. He's a very good quarterback. He is not a great quarterback.
Okay. Mike McCarthy, Bill Belichick, or Coach Prime?
Oh, Bill Belichick, obviously. Oh, but no, I love me some Dion. I love me some Dion. It depends. It depends on if Shador goes, Dion's gonna try to go.
That's all I wanted to get. Cowboys fans be dreaming. Like if we get Travis Hunter, then we trade for Shador, then we get Shallow, then we get Coach.
You gotta break it up. You gotta break it up. You gotta break it up. Gotta break them up.
The whole thing down.
Yep, gotta take it down, man.
Got you. What about NBA? How do you feel about the LeBron and Bronny situation?
Listen, man, it's nepotism, but guess what? When you're LeBron, and you're arguably one of the greatest ever. And I would say people have the big MJ LeBron debate. I'm going to tell you right now.
Call it right now.
I'm going to go with LeBron for 2 reasons. 20 years, but also this. People say, well, Jordan played in a more physical era. That is true. Look at LeBron. LeBron would have thrived in that era with how built he is.
He would have killed in that era, too.
Yes.
Yeah. He'll kill in any era.
Yes.
All right, so look, we're going to get up out of here. It's a Thanksgiving episode. Man, thankful for a lot of things. What I wanted to do, finishing up this episode, we just said a couple of things that we're thankful for. And then we just gonna get up out of here. So I'll start. Honestly, I'm thankful for this platform. I'm thankful for this opportunity. I'm thankful for everybody that we have here on set that helps us make this what it is. I'm thankful for my family. Right? Yay! Give me my money. I'm thankful for my family. My grandmother, of course, you know her. My grandfather.
Ralph.
My mom. My dad. My daughter, Sage. I'm thankful for everybody, man. I'm just blessed that I'm happy. I'm healthy. And I'm here doing something that I love to do. So anybody else could take it.
My number one list of gratitude is my family, my wife. Best thing ever happened to me was meeting her, William Mary, my daughters. My family's been through a lot of challenges in the last year, so we've lost like 7. I lost my dad a year ago, but very grateful for my family. Absolutely. And Blackstone. Blackstone's been so good to me, and the people, I've been blessed, man. I really have been blessed. Spoil riding.
All right. Same thing. My kids, my family. Doing this with my boy. Ain't asking too much more, man. I ain't hard to please.
I didn't know whether this could be Christmas. I wore red thinking this might launch at Christmas. Y'all gonna drop this thing in Thanksgiving?
Nah, we dropping this thing right now. Yeah, but look, man, we've been here. This has been amazing. Again, super blessed. Thank you.
Man, thank y'all.
Like you said, he wasn't gonna run from it, but another episode in the books. Again, from y'all favorites. We out.
A problem.
Fake love is played out. I never got the love I gave out. I'm still stuck in this maze trying to find my way out. Take away my pain, better days I pray about.